Very easily. Welcome to the Premier League show. Big games over the weekend, or big tests over the weekend. Manchester City went. We will come back to the Friday night games, but we're going to begin with Manchester City, who went to Molineux in.
Tough game on paper?
Some people said it was a tough game on paper. Fortunately for City, it's played on grass. And they ran away with it 3-0. They were in front within the opening minutes, and that normally means game over with Manchester City. Jack Grealish scoring to put them a goal up. Haaland, remember that, Rory? Wasn't very good. Haaland making it 2-0. Then a man sent off, didn't he? Collins sent off for a karate kick.
It was.
On Jack Grealish. And then, for some reason, was saying to the fourth official, why have I ever been sent off? Terrible tackle. And then Phil Foden made it 3-0, and it was a walk in the park, wasn't it, for them?
Yeah, they've got a new goal, haven't they, City? It's the get the ball wide, hold it up, wait till Kevin De Bruyne joins in, get the ball in, and then someone taps it in, which they got 2 from in this game, and we've seen that a lot this season. But no, devastating from Manchester City again. You know, Wolves have been all right this season, competitive wise, but they were blown away by this Manchester City team, and Haaland gets another one, and it's, you know, business as usual, rolls on into the international weekend with another win. So, you know, what can you say? Too much. They come off the back of a Champions League win and flying, absolutely flying at the moment. Brilliant.
Haaland scored in that as well. What a surprise! They look head and shoulders above everyone, even though Arsenal are actually top. City are absolutely flying with it. Spurs played later in the day, and they're in great form. Tottenham, aren't they? Harry Kane opened the scoring. This one will be remembered for Son's 14-minute hat-trick after replacing Richarlison, who didn't look happy to come off. But Leicester, even though they have been shocking this season, results-wise, have shown again they've got goals in them, haven't they? And it's just at the other end, they can't keep them out. That's 5-2 and 6-2 in the last 2 away games. Brendan Rodgers under pressure, but
they took the lead, didn't they? Early penalty, Tielemans made to take it again. Scored on the second attempt. Harry Kane got the equaliser. Then they go in front with an Eric Dyer. Header off the set piece, and Leicester are abysmal off set pieces. Great goal by Mathew. And then, as you mentioned, you know, in the second half, Spurs just took it away from them.
Well, indeed, he wasn't it? Messing around with the ball. You know, ball played into him, and he hesitated and bent a curve.
Now, do you think, you know, there's a lot of pressure on Brendan Rodgers. So do you think, like, one of the reasons the pressure is more intense will be because, as you just said, they're 11 goals conceded in 2 away games, is the fact that they're still trying to play football out from the back, and also the set pieces haven't improved? Do you think they are big warning signs to people that they're not learning, that in spells where they're not doing well, which does happen to a lot of sides, that they're not going back to basics and just saying, you know what, lads, we're going to forget about all this. The keeper's going to knock the ball down the pitch. We're going to try and turn these, or we're going to tighten up on set pieces. Do you think that's probably the major reason why and the result, of course, why people are looking at Brendan Rodgers' position?
Possibly. I mean, he played 7, drawn 1, lost 6 of the games. You know, they're already minus 12. So they got a single point. And in that game, which was day 1 of the season, they were winning 2-0 against Brentford, and they clawed it back. But I just don't ever see Brendan Rodgers abandoning what he does. We've seen the same at Liverpool in his first season, I think it was, where the amount of goals they give up for him trying to play out from the back, and it was just nicked in a goal, and Liverpool fans were screaming. You know, remember Villa beating them 3-1 at Anfield? They were terrible. And it was that, you know, not playing Rodgers' way of playing wasn't enough. But he sticks to his principles and he believes in it. Is that going to cost them his job? Well, how much longer can they continue to just leave it? It's harsh because he's done a great job at Leicester. He really has. He won the FA Cup, won Charity Shield. They've been in Europe a few. They've missed out twice on the last day of Champions League. You know, you could look at it. They bottled it. Maybe they did. I don't know. But they missed out. But this season, for about 18 months now, like last season, they weren't very good. They had injuries and different things, and for the first time, the club that had been used as the example for a few years of how you can almost circumnavigate the big teams with the money. People are now looking at them going, what's happening here? You know, Kasper Schmeichel's gone and there's been no real input into the team money-wise. And it's difficult. It's difficult. He's had a little go a couple of times. It's not the same club anymore and the fans are going to have to just accept it and all that. But you're right, if they're not doing the fundamentals either. They're not going, well, we're going to get a couple of 0-0s here just to keep it, you know, stop the rot, and then we've got goals. Because they have got goals in the team. Can they stop them?
Diminishing returns, though, from like the likes of Vardy, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, they're going to look me more at like Daka at this season and obviously Mathew. But Tielemans in his last year of contract. They lost Fofana, they lost Schmeichel. They're in that position.
Johnny Evans is older.
They're in that position where they're not replacing players with as good players. And it's going to be difficult. And they've got a big month coming up, haven't they, ahead of the World Cup. Got a big month. You know, they have to turn it round. And
they have got good players, Leicester, and like you said, they're scoring goals, which is a good thing. But if he doesn't do anything, Danny Ward is all right. He's not Kasper Schmeichel's level. No. So you've got the keeper who's gone down. The defenders, they're going to have to, you know, go some now and start getting some momentum because they have got good players. Spurs, on the other hand, are absolutely flying. You know, same point as City, 5 wins, 2 draws. Harry Kane, hat-trick from Son was just first and second goal, one with the right foot, one with the left foot. Fantastic, and that's what they've got now, haven't they? They've got them players where you can take off Kuleveski or take off Richarlison and put Son on. And
well, that's the thing, isn't it? We're saying with Son, he hadn't started the season well, and Richarlison had come in for the last few games. And then he comes off the bench and he's hungry and he's angry and he's got a point to prove and he does it. And that's the point of having competition for places, is that people go, Richarlison was terrible, or see, that's the difference, that's the quality difference. But if Richarlison wasn't there, or another striker, another football club wasn't there,
would they get the same?
Would you get that same response of keeping a player hungry, keeping him on, you know, on his toes? And that's why good teams buy more quality. You know, in positions where you look at it and go, do they really need it? It's like, yeah, because otherwise the player might go stale or might get too comfortable. And that's a good sign from the manager is, no, we'll keep these players on the toes. So, brilliant hat-trick, and Spurs are flying.
They're absolutely flying. Well, Harry Kane obviously scored again. Scored the opening goal, and the lads over on 888 Sports have been talking about, on the playlist, have been talking about the greatest England striker. So this is what they've been saying.
Okay, going through on goal, fate of the universe on the line. Who's taking the slot?
Out of this lot.
Out of this lot, going through on goal.
Let's be honest.
Literally going through on goal, one-on-one.
All of them.
All
Yeah,
of them.
Yeah, all of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
But there's some, like...
Big game, though.
Owen's not missing,
mate.
is he? Owen ain't missing.
Owen. And then
Well, no, it's
you know what he's
Cole.
gonna
You're
do?
telling me Shearer
Owen's going to
is?
score. Owen's going to score and then go like this.
Shearer's breaking the net.
Yeah.
I mean,
Shearer's taking the goalkeeper with him.
yeah,
Shearer's
of course
taking the
he is.
goalkeeper.
No, it's Owen.
This is
It's
so
Rooney,
hard
innit?
to do.
It's Rooney, though.
It's Owen. It's not.
It's Cole. It's Cole.
I tell you who it's not. It's not Cole.
It's not Kane.
If you're doing process of elimination.
It's not Kane either.
Yeah, but Cole.
If you're talking moments,
It's so
you know,
tough for
and
Kane,
Tottenham fans will
it's not
say
his
in the big
fault
games, unfortunately, whether it be injury or whatever, he's not turned up.
We just can't prove
In the
it, though.
big
Not a big
games,
player.
he's not turned
He's
up.
not a big game
He's
player.
not a big
The
game
problem
player.
is we can't
stat
prove it.
man.
What do you mean?
Not yet. He's 29 years old. He's going to become a big game player.
He's 29.
When he reaches his maximum.
We just can't prove it because he hasn't been at the same level as the other guys. Not his fault, but we can't say.
No, this is, yeah.
We don't know what
He's done well to make this.
Rooney's one for me.
Interesting debate. Obviously, International Week, so that's why the lads are discussing it. Are we that bothered? Really? If it was, for me, if it's only really two people, I think. I mean, as much as I've loved, you know, Lineker was brilliant and all that, it's only really Alan Shearer or Wayne Rooney. Obviously, England's big scorers. At first, I was thinking it's Shearer because of that, but it's actually no. It's Wayne Rooney, and it's Wayne Rooney for everything because natural ability that can go by players, and is obviously England's top scorer as well. So it's Wayne Rooney. That's who I'm going with.
But Kane will get the record, won't he?
Should do, yeah.
He'll get the record.
Should do.
But
Kane's brilliant, by the way.
Yeah.
Kane is a, you know, he should definitely be in the conversation.
Again, this is a different question for different generations.
Course,
Lots of people will say Lineker, lots of people will say Shearer. There'll be people out there.
Rory was saying Michael Owen.
No, Rory said Haaland was going to struggle.
Yeah, true.
There's people out there, this generation of people who'll say they've never seen a better goal scorer than Jimmy Greaves. Ever. You've got Dixie Dean and you've got all kinds, but we obviously tend to drift towards the modern generation, people we've seen more regularly. So I'd say it was Rooney, but I also think that this is a conversation you can't really have till someone finishes their career and you can look back at the whole thing. I mean, we might be saying Rooney now, but if England won the World Cup and Kane's lifting it, then immediately everyone's going to say greatest ever England player or greatest ever striker because he's won the World Cup and he'll have done loads to earn the World Cup. So I think what the thing with Kane is, and this is maybe the difference is, he helped take England to a final of the Euros and a semi-final of the World Cup. Whereas Rooney, there was no real track record in cup competitions.
Well, his best one was his first one, wasn't it?
Exactly.
And England probably would have. The irony is he probably would have won that for England that year. And he ended up breaking his foot in the quarter final, I think it was, wasn't it?
So it's always a difficult one, isn't it? Always a difficult one.
I'm just thinking of Rooney overall, just because of he was just such a fantastic footballer.
As a footballer, he was better. He was a better footballer, but somewhat strikers. But
you're right, Kane may well end up
score all kinds of goals, can't he?
And might end up winning England a trophy.
Yeah, so it's a difficult one, but
still should have squared the one in the semi.
England would have won the World Cup. Would have got to the final. France still would have battled.
There you go.
Watch the rest of that video over on 888 Sports YouTube channel. It is the playlist. Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe if you like it.
Let them know what you think.
Yeah, and tell them we sent you.
Get over there, say it. Marcus Spence. Back to the Premier League. Newcastle played Bournemouth.
David Nugent is actually the real answer.
David Nugent, 1-1. Newcastle Bournemouth ended 1-1. Bournemouth took the lead. Billing with a header. It was a header or was it a foot?
It was a little volley
off the cross, and Isaac got a penalty for Newcastle and levelled it up. Ended 1-1. Bit frustrating, I think, for Newcastle.
But great result for Bournemouth.
Yeah, they're on a good little run, Bournemouth. I still
since he got beat by
feel like
Liverpool,
they might go down.
5 points since they got beat two away games.
I still feel like they're doing well at the moment, though. And Friday night, Aston Villa beat Southampton 1-0. Jacob Ramsey with the goal.
Big result for them.
It was a huge win. Huge win for Steven Gerrard, pressure. And Nottingham Forest continued.
Yeah, another great result for Fulham.
But Fulham, getting beat 1-0 and went 3-1 up, and Lewis O'Brien pulled one back for Forest, but not enough. But Marco Silva's men continuing to get great results, and they sit in 6th spot at the moment.
Fair play.
Forest, started decent, but 1 draw, 1 win, 1 draw, 5 defeats now, isn't it? Have slipped down a little bit, -11. Very difficult for them bringing in so many players, isn't it? And I'm hoping it gels, because the quality of player they've brought in, some decent quality in, but others, is it going to gel enough? I know they had to bring some in, they lost players, but it's a big ask that, I think, when you get so many in.
The break will help them, won't it? That's what you
That'll give them help. It just depends how far away they are when it gets to that break. On to Sunday, and another team who have been brilliant so far this season is Arsenal. They went to Brentford in the lunchtime kick-off. Won 3-0. Salaba, Jesus and Vieira, wasn't it? Fabio Vieira with a good strike. But doing well, Arsenal. They had obviously had the defeat at United last time out. Everton probably would have beat them in there. Comfortable. Now, the Everton game, Arsenal-Everton was called off, as they all were, but they come back with a tricky game. Brentford have been quite strong at home. But they went there and blew them away, didn't he? 2-0 up within half an hour, and Gabriel Jesus has been a big signing for Mikel Arteta, and just doing that thing that Arsenal have needed really, is just getting that second goal when you need it, and Jesus is in the right place at the right time, and it's a brilliant result, isn't it?
Yeah, tough place to go, Brentford, and been a lot made of it because they got beat their first game last season, didn't they? There's a lot made of that, and tweets that were put out by Ivan Toney and stuff like that. And I think it was for Arsenal, it was a big redemption in this game, showing how far they've come, and they really have. They're absolutely flying, and you know, on the 90th minute, he managed to bring on Ethan and Wary, don't know if that's how you pronounce it, and 15-year-old.
That's crazy, isn't it?
You know, to break the record. You know, that's unbelievable. That be able to do that. A kid who's you know, was playing for the under-18s when he was 14. That's unbelievable. That's how,
isn't it?
and that shows you, tells you where they are as a football club, or where they believe they are as a football club. You know, they've gone back top of the league, and they're flying. They're absolutely flying. They're probably gutted the breaks come when it has, but they're absolutely flying, and they'll think, you know, just keep it going, and they've got a great chance for a Champions League place, which is probably what their main aim is going to be this season.
Well, the next game, Arsenal Spurs, after the break.
Ouch.
You know, first
Ouch.
versus third, both on a really good run.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a key game that day, isn't it? For sure. So
Yeah, for sure.
it is, isn't it? It's gonna be huge. And I think City United the next day, isn't it? So two big derby. The way they just come out nicely.
Weird that, isn't it?
Just
Weird.
pure random.
Pure random.
It's going to be interesting. That won't be a tough one. And the final game, Everton beat West Ham United. Everton winning their first game of the season, being on a good run, 6 games unbeaten, clean sheet. For David Moyes, obviously not a great start to the season. Pressure on him. Seeing the odds for the next manager to be sacked, and you know, I've said it before, for some reason Frank Lampard was the favourite to be sacked at the start of the season. I've no idea why, but he's just the same odds as Jurgen Klopp now to be dismissed. But David Moyes is a second or third favourite now to be given the job. I wouldn't if I was West Ham, but I'm not West Ham.
Yeah, the run is longer than just this season, though, isn't it?
They had a poor end.
It is a long run back to the back end of last season. And they're doing all right in Europe, so that's a bonus for them.
Yeah.
And he'll hope that again, in the next month or so, things start to gel a little bit more. Then you have the break, and then you come back, and things maybe start again. It's such a hard one to judge this season because of that break. It's you know, getting that almost like a second pre-season, being able to start again with the players you've got. Obviously, the players that are not away. Recharge the batteries, get the injuries sorted, get on the training ground, which for a lot longer than you've been used to with some of your players, and for, you know, that will help him and others. But it's about getting through the next month, next 5-6 weeks.
And for Frank Lampard, obviously Everton sit above, you know, Villa, Palace, Wolves, West Ham, Leicester. These teams that people, you know, said were much better. So for Lampard, 6 games unbeaten, including the Carabao Cup game. I think there's Everton. There's only one team that's got conceded less than Everton, which is Brighton. It's been a solid start, hasn't it, for Lampard?
Pretty
7
much,
points in 7 games is not great, but it's a solid start. The 2 points behind Liverpool in 8th.
Everton are building, aren't they? And all we can hope for is the injuries, and not, you know.
Don't curtail it.
Don't start piling up.
Well, we've had 8 players out injured already, and the season's only 7 games old. And we've had bad injuries already, and obviously we're still at the time recording. We just had our latest one, which is Nathan Patterson, so we don't know how long he's out for. But for Lampard, like I said, it's been a solid start, and if Everton ever do get anything like a full squad together at one time, then who knows what they can do. But just got to keep plugging away Everton, haven't they, from their perspective, and try and stay away from any dramas this season. There you go, that is it from us. Make sure you check out 888 Sport, the playlist, the rest of that video talking about England and other things. Give that a like and a watch. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. We'll see you later.